Hey everyone, good morning. It's Katan, and today we're talking about productivity and proactive movements. So, for me as an entrepreneur, I have seen many cases where other entrepreneurs have come to me and expressed how they're struggling with sales, they're struggling with keeping their head above water, they're struggling with having a positive mindset, they're struggling with feeling like they should continue their journey, like they're losing their passion because they're not seeing the results that they were expecting or wanting to see in these first couple of months, weeks, or years of opening their business. And one of the mindsets that has helped me to gain sales in entrepreneurship, but also being in business management and in retail and in training and development, was having a productivity and proactivity mindset and staying focused on what I can do to get out of the situation that I'm in. I think a lot of times we give so much energy and attention to stuff that is not going to feed us financially, emotionally, spiritually, and you have to have a limit. I'm not saying that you can't be human and have emotions and, release how you're feeling, but there has to be a limit for you or a cap where you say, this is the most that I'm going to allow to come out of me that is, not as productive as it could be. And this is where I focus on controlling what I can control. And that mindset has taken me so far in sales. I've worked in environments where we weren't expected to do as many sales because of how small the location was or because of how little traffic we received at that location. But instead of me focusing on using all of those outside factors as the reason and full justification for why I will not succeed, I focused on controlling what I could control. So we may only have 20 people come in, but I'm going to make sure that every single person knows my name, knows the business, has a great experience, feels like they want to come back. And that is the stuff that I can control. Then we have business, entrepreneurship. You're going to have days where it feels slow. You might have people who don't necessarily see the value in what it is that you're providing. You can't control every outside factor, but you can focus on what you can control and what your non negotiables are going to be. So think about what you want your business to stand for and make sure that it stands for that. If you want it to stand for accountability, productivity, make sure that the actions that you commit stand for that. Don't focus on outside factors, focus on yourself. And when you focus on yourself, you're able to take accountability for what you contribute to other people because there's always something we can do better. Whether we are the business owner, whether we are the client, whether we are the observer, there's always something that we can be doing better in our own area. And by letting go of worrying about what the next person is doing, you give yourself ownership to take accountability for your own actions versus saying, oh, well, I didn't get this done because they didn't do this. What can you do? What should you be working on? What is your focus? What are you going to deliver? How are you going to make sure that if one person can't do something, you're able to do what needs to be done? How are you going to make sure that the day still goes through smoothly, even if people can't show up? Because entrepreneurship is a series of people committing and sometimes not always showing up, and you having to be consistent enough to show up for yourself, even on days when other people aren't showing up for themselves or for you. Because when you do show up for yourself, you end up running into the person who is ready to show up for you, who is ready to invest in you, who is ready to spend money on you, who is serious about pushing your brand forward on the same level that you're going to push their business or their life forward. So you can't let things not going as fast as you want it to be the reason for why that's your excuse for non-productivity. You have to hold yourself accountable to what you contribute to your growth. And by focusing on how you do better and what you can grow in, you give yourself power and you realize that you are the catalyst for your business, and that's what's going to control the growth of your brand is you getting out there and building that momentum and being consistent and holding yourself accountable. Because unlike a 9 to 5, in many situations there will not be that next person that you go up to that is holding you accountable. You are in charge and responsible for everything as an entrepreneur, and so in the beginning stages at least. And so for that reason we want to focus more on productivity, proactivity, being positive, making sure that everything that you do has purpose. If you're sitting somewhere, it has purpose. If you're speaking about something, it has a purpose. You have intentionalism, and then not sitting in environments that don't make sense for you. If you're unhappy with whether it be your job, whether it be a working condition, whether it be a client, whether it be a peer, whatever it is, then leave that space and move to somewhere else that is proactive for you. But sitting in that space and sitting in that negativity is extremely non-productive for your business. And when you're an entrepreneur, you have to understand how powerful being productive, being intentional, and being proactive is. There's being reactive where you react to stuff, and then there's being proactive where you think about how can I help this situation get better? How can I alleviate where we're at? How can I help be a part of the solution instead of the problem? And being an entrepreneur essentially is solving problems, being a solution provider. So if you're someone out there that's trying to grow, trying to elevate your brand, then these are some of the mindsets you may want to keep with you. This is my first morning memo. So I hope that everyone who has stopped by enjoyed it. And if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe. We'll be talking about entrepreneurship, small businesses, great products you can find. And you can find us on YouTube at Boss Babe Blog, or you can visit my website at the bottom of the corner, bossbabeblog.com, and check us out if you want to shop some small businesses. If you are needing assistance with growing your brand and marketing, you can visit our page that says join our directory on bossbabeblog.com to see what we deliver, to fill out an application, to find out if we're going to be a great fit for each other, and then we go from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon on another live. Have a wonderful, productive day. And remember, don't focus on anything that you're not responsible for. Focus on the stuff that you are responsible for delivering, so you can take ownership of your brand and you can have that power and understand that you are the one that makes the magic happen for your business. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.